Dun, 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 dun. That's how it goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Welcome into another edition of the Southern Quality Ford Friday Night Blitz. I am your host, Brad Cisak.
And I'm Tim Owens. Brad, week 7 of the high school football season is here, and we got some big matchups with a lot of implications tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. Plus, Captain Shreve head coach Brian Sepulveda is going to join us a bit later in the show. But first, let's start out with some highlights here in Louisiana.
Louisiana Highlights, brought to you by Christus Velocity Urgent Care.
The Airline Vikings haven't beaten Parkway since 2012. Can they change that this year? Panthers moving early. Gave Larry pass complete to Peyton Lewis. He gets sandwiched by the Viking defenders. Ball comes out and Airline jumps on it. They would get a field goal out of that. A little bit later in the quarter, Panthers down by 3. Give is to Rontavius Richmond. He will pick up a Parkway first down. Same drive now, second quarter. Now Larry in some trouble. Forced pass is picked off by Travion Wilkins. That Airline defense came to play down there at Preston Crownover Stadium as the Vikings roll to the shutout win, 24-0. They are now remain undefeated there in district play. First win over Parkway since 2012.
Great secondary, and they get to the backfield. They get to the quarterback. Haughton trying to bounce back from last week's loss to Airline, taking on Southwood, second quarter, 14-0 Bucks, but Southwood with an answer. Damian Beckman calling his own number. That cut the Haughton lead. That is now 14-7. Late in the half, Peyton Stovall getting it out to hard hitting Matthew Witten. He's finally knocked out of bounds. And then with just 10 seconds left in the half, Bucks put up 7 more. Stovall to Witten again. Haughton led 21-7 at the break, and they rolled from there. 41-19 the final.
Benton still looking for their first district win on the road at Bird tonight. Tigers trailing by 15 here, trying to get something going before halftime. But great play by Bird's R.J. Poland jumping up and knocking that Caleb Cassidy pass attempt away. Yellow Jackets led 18-3 at the break. Third quarter, Bird in Benton territory. Cam Felt keeping it. He's going to get quickly tripped up by that Benton defense, but wouldn't slow down the Jackets. A few plays later, here's Vinzel Thompson up the gut. He is in for the score. Yellow Jackets lead it by 21. Bird rolls to the win, 46-31. Benton still looking for their first district win of the season. Captain Shreve trying to avoid the trap game against Natchitoches Central. Scoreless ball game in the first. Darius Grant looking downfield, but Chiefs DB Justin Aaron going up and grabbing this out of the air. That is an interception, and Chiefs are going to end up finding the scoreboard on their ensuing possession. Reversed to Rodney Robinson. Fools the Shreve defense. He is going to take it in for the score. Natchitoches Central leading at that point 7-0. Now that Gators defense would quickly move on to that play and bounce back. Here is Chiefs QB Darian Robinson looking to add to their lead. Ball, though, is underthrown. Malik Carey there with the interception, and then he's going to be breaking a few tackles. Eventually takes it all the way down towards near the goal line. Captain Shreve with only 1 touchdown tonight that they would get in the third quarter, but they do get the win, and a close one, 10-7, the final score there at Lee Hedges Stadium.
Calvary is averaging 50 points per game. They've only given up, coming into last night's game, 53 all year long, trying to keep it rolling against Homer. First quarter, Cavaliers strike first. Cade Hart checks it down to Isaiah Brown, and Ike does the rest. He powers his way into the end zone just like that. It is 7-0 Cavaliers. Next possession for the Cavs. Hart this time calling his own number on the read option. He takes it in for another score. Calvary out to a commanding 14-0 lead, and then late in the quarter, Brown taking the pitch, getting the corner, and he finds pay dirt for the second time on the night. This one all Cavaliers. They roll 56-6, the final. In 4A, Minden quietly won 5 straight, but a tough one tonight against Neville. Pick it up first quarter, tide driving. Trent McLaughlin finding Kentravian Lister. A nice little gain there. Minden in business. 2 plays later, McLaughlin going up top again. This time he's finding Seth Johnson tied into the red zone, looking like they're going to score. But on the very next play, McLaughlin trying to find Parker Hall, but it is picked off. Charles Slaughter Jr. picks it off. This game, all Tigers tonight. They drop Minden 34-7 the final.
Let's stay in 4A. The Huntington Raiders taking a break from district play as they take on Jonesboro Hodge. This is Jarrell Joseph finding Dre Robinson. Robinson going to cut back the other way across the field. Eventually, he's going to be brought down for a first down after breaking a few tackles. And later on in the drive, Joseph going to keep it himself on the option, gets to the corner, and takes it in for the score. Raiders up 6-0. Second quarter now, and Huntington going to go back through the air. This is going to be Joseph looking downfield, and he is going to connect with his receiver. This is Taj Kokinski in the end zone for 6. They would go for the 2-point conversion, take a 14-0 lead. Raiders roll in this one as they take down Jonesboro Hodge 42-20. The final score there at Independence Stadium.
Another nice win for Stephen Dennis and those Huntington Raiders.
Absolutely. Well, the Northwood Falcons are the defending 1-4A champs, but this season a new wrinkle has been added to the district.
That's right, Brad. The Evangel Eagles dropping down from 5A this year, and this is the matchup everyone has had circled on that calendar. Jory Perry's is at Benton Stadium for this week's Game of the Week, presented by Better Hearing Systems.
It's a battle of district champs between Evangel and Northwood, only for the Eagles that came in District 1 5A play last year. So they're the new birds on the block, if you will, here in District 1 4A, in a game tonight that very well could tell us who ends up defending that title. Let's see who soars higher tonight as we get into the highlights from our Game of the Week. The Northwood Falcons playing host to the Evangel Eagles. Pick this up in the first half. Falcons first to draw blood after an Eagles turnover on downs. Luke Bogan finding Terrence Cook, who goes up the gut. Just like that, it's 7-0 Northwood. A little bit later now, tied at 7. Luke Bogan picked off by Jalen Abraham, who takes it all the way the opposite way for the pick 6. Eagles now up 14-7. Abraham, playing two ways for the Eagles tonight, would punch it in for one more score on the ground, which made it 21-7 at the half. So second half now, 30-7 Eagles. Blake Chapin on a 3rd and 19, finding Jaron Rattler, who makes the catch in the end zone to extend that lead. PAT's no good. It's 36-7 Eagles, and the duo would connect 3 times in the third quarter. Chapin to Rattler, going up and making that nice grab there over the defender. Evangel could not be stopped in the second half. They go on to get the win, 50-14.
Well, you know, these guys have been through a lot this season, and, you know, we want to come out this week and just fight back. We've been fighting all year, and we had a lot of guys fighting tonight. Several guys playing two-way and you know, small roster, but our guys came out here and fought. Hats off to Coach Gatlin and his staff. It's a great team, great program, but, you know, our guys came out tonight and played hard, so I'm so proud of them.
There's a lot of trash talk, and I just feel like we played like Evangel, and it should be good for us going forward.
So Evangel and Northwood now 2-1 in District 1 4A play. Reporting here at Jerry Burton Stadium, I'm Jory Perry. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
It's something I was talking on the radio on 98 Rocks today on the Red Zone, and I was talking to them, and I was like, it just feels like I want to think that Northwood is on that same level with Evangel, and I want to think that they're going to go out there and they're going to play with them, and it's going to be a great game, but I just can't say it, and that turned out to be true.
Well, I think we learned our lesson a couple of years ago when we thought that the Parkway team with Justin Rogers and Terrace Marshall were going to do their thing easily over Evangel, and it was. Yeah. I think we both learned our lesson about thinking Evangel would get blown out at anything, and it showed. It's that
beginning of the year schedule. They play some of those tough teams, and they take a couple lumps, and you think, they're not the same team. They're still a pretty good football team. Still,
Evangel still has 1-4A there on notice.
Yep. Coming up on the Southern Quality Ford Friday Night Blitz, we head over to Texas.
Pleasant Grove and Gilmer meeting in what could decide the district. We're going to Texarkana after the break.